So this project is about how immigrant women in this city, in New York City, save money when the systems are not built to support them. एक जहान है दोनों का, परवाज़ दोनों का एक है. The world belongs to both of us, and so does the flight. Parwaaz means flight. And this project is about what it means to rise together. Growing up, I've watched so many people collect all kinds of things. My friends used to collect stamps, coins, containers, empty containers, tons and tons of bags for, I don't know when we need it, but I have so many Trader Joe's bags in these last 2 years. I think that's a testament to the time that I've spent in DSI. But when I came to New York City, I saw people were saving MTA cards, plant parenting is a thing, sneakers, totes. So that made me wonder, wait a minute, if we collect like this, then how do we save? How do we hold things close? And more importantly, how do we save money? This question led me to something deeper. Saving money was clearly not just a financial act. It's shaped by fear, culture, bureaucracy, and definitely identity. As a woman, as an immigrant woman myself, I've felt these tensions. So to design anything meaningful, I just wanted to listen to stories, experiences, to listen to what people had to say, what they felt. Every year, thousands of people come to New York City, chasing new futures, including yours truly. In 2023, over 137,000 people entered the city's intake system. Can you believe how many people that is? But more importantly, 70,000 of them were women from different countries, cultures, money habits. So in this whirl of survival and aspiration, how are they surviving? How are they existing? For immigrant women, saving money doesn't follow a straight line, and this map just shows how layered it gets. Legal status, housing instability, caregiving responsibilities all shape the financial journey. I grounded this project in New York City, a city full of ambition, but also barriers. It became my research ground to explore and to think, how are people surviving? How are people dreaming? And how are people collectively existing in the larger community? Some stats, because why not? We love data, and I took a data class. So over 300,000 households in the city are unbanked. 68% immigrant women in New York City lack access to credit. Credit basically means access to a formal banking system. And over 53% prefer informal savings system over formal banks due to trust issues that show up in so many different layers. Talking about finance, I think it's imperative to show and talk about financial literacy. I'm just going to let this be there for everyone to read, but to kind of sum it, it basically means it's defined as the ability to understand and use financial skills. But if saving is just about understanding, why is it still so hard? Largely, financial literacy programs talk about credit repair, debt management, tax preparation, investment guidance, and so many other nuances of the larger concept of being financially literate. But what about informal methods? What about survival instincts that is already present in so many different cultures, in so many communities in the city? What about trust, emotion, and like the keynote speaker spoke about, context? I met this woman in Jersey City who had recently taken a financial literacy class, and she said, but there is nothing to save at the end of the month. And it stayed with me. Because what happens when survival costs more than any advice can offer? So, because talking about money is tough, makes you feel vulnerable, makes you feel put in the spot, I decided to ask people anonymously. I don't want names, I don't want your identities, just tell me how you feel. And several digital probes, actually 3 rounds of digital probes later, several different factors unfolded. Underlying emotions, trust, and so many different sacrifices that often goes unnoticed. Across those themes, patterns did emerge. Savings felt inconsistent, formal advice didn't match real life, tools weren't built for informal practices, caregiving, housing took priority, no emotional support or peer accountability. In short, people did want to save, but the system didn't quite meet them where they are. So that led me to my question: how might we transform savings from invisible survival tactic to a visible habit of dignity for immigrant women? During this entire journey, I was fortunate to be associated with two wonderful community organizations: Malika, which is a grassroots self defense, healing, and leadership organization, and Community Service Society of New York, which advocates for economic dignity. Together, we just wanted to talk about what does it mean to live in the city, what are people's values, how is money even perceived in different cultures, and what do people usually practice when they are struggling to survive in this city. Through play, reflection, and dialogue, new ways, new types, and new tips of savings did emerge. But only when savings didn't feel like a test, it felt possible. A huge insight emerged. Savings is emotional, social, and deeply conditional. Emotional, tied to safety, fear, hope. Social, shaped by what others around us are doing. Conditional, it relies on time, access, and trust. Basically, designing for savings or even thinking about how do we make savings accessible means designing for life, designing for existence. Initially, we tried guided prompts. Because it is tough to just right off the bat talk about money, we tried mapping our values. What are some of the things we want to save for? Maybe a bag, furniture, my children's education. They set goals, tested ideas, shared practices. A shared ritual began to form, and it became easier to talk about saving money and financial futures when it's not a test and when you're not expected to show up in a way the system expects you to show up. A framework was coming together, and it came together so emergently by the power of emergent design. To nest means to ground in your personal values. To build means forming routines with accountability, not for a system, but for oneself. And to thrive is to celebrate the progress, even in small ways. This is Parwaaz. I am Srinidhi, designer, storyteller, and somebody who loves to think what the future would look like with minds like us together. Parwaaz means flight, like I said. It's a collective discovery, a shared upward motion, a space when the system is not meant for you, you just get together and say it's okay. And you look back at your traditions, culture, and your community to find ways to survive, both in joy and in care. Prompts like, if your wallet had a personality, what would it be? Or what do you collect and why? They all sparked surprising stories, discoveries, because women love chatting, so did I. And these prompts definitely helped keep our conversations together and guided, definitely. But when money conversations feel playful and grounded, rooted in values, dreams, and aspirations, people did show up, showed up differently, showed up with care and support for this work. This is Nest, a space to reflect on values, alone but together, to find the why before figuring out the how. Talking about money is tough, and so it emerged that what is there beyond mapping values? What is there beyond prompts? And the idea of generating ways to think, discover, and even talk about finance, money-related conversations, or even simply surviving in life. A card game did emerge, tacky, but it helped. It supported. I had a participant share with me, they wish they had this card game in their family because it was so hard to talk about money. And had they maybe used this card game in some capacity, they would have loved to find out how their family survived, how their parents survived, how their ancestors survived. This was Build, a space to create small habits, nudge consistency, and grow confidence. Even at Malika sessions, for example, coloring a mandala while talking helps spark trust and reflection. Subtle, low pressure, powerful. This was social design in action for me, not just solving a problem, but building a community, a collective of stories, lived experiences, and struggles. Every tool, be it the card game, values mapping, prompts, they all just came together. They all built trust. Parwaaz isn't here to fix savings. I'm not saying Parwaaz is going to help you save $100 every week. I wish. It's a beginning. It's a soft landing for those hard conversations, for those hard realities of life. A place where trying is enough and trying together is strength. It's community in action. This is Thrive. This is what thriving looks like. Not just mastering money, but reclaiming the power to define your relationship with it, your relationship with your values, and the relationship that you wish to have with your future. Where does it go from here? We took these tools to libraries, to women's centers, to libraries, to kitchens, community rooms, several places. The more people we invited, the more stories we got to know, the more struggles unfolded, and more better ways to think and talk about this emerged. This is an invitation to nest in our values, build towards our dreams, and thrive collectively. Let us all rise together. Not literally, you should be seated, but rise together in existence, in survival, and beyond anything, humanity. I welcome you to my world of Parwaaz, which is nest, build, and thrive, a shared flight, a new way to save with care, curiosity, and community. Long list of names, long. But I want to first and foremost, thank the two big M's of my life, Mia and Mari. Mia for trusting me, for seeing me for who I am. Mari for literally right now, even before this presentation, telling me that you got this. I got this because you told me I got this, Mari. This is for you. I mean it. And for everyone, each and every one of my classmates, each and every person I interacted with, to all the women who trusted me with their stories and didn't look at me as a graduate student trying to hustle and finish her thesis. This is for you. This is for us. This is our gift. And I leave this to you with love, care, and in community that's right here in front of me. Thank you so much.